What's up, YouTube? Welcome back for another division prediction video. This will be our last division prediction video. We're going to be covering up the AFC East and the NFC East teams. And I know this is a bit late. It's kind of busy and we weren't able to record it yet. But better late than never, right? So this will be the last division prediction video. And yeah. So we'll start off the NFC East teams and let's get started. So we have the NFC East. Winning the NFC East, I have the Cowboys. Now, I feel like both these divisions are going to be competitive, but this with the NFC East is going to be real competitive as well. It's as equally competitive. Especially probably the most competitive division on the NFC side. But winning, I got the Cowboys. And because I have the Cowboys, I lean towards them because of their defense. I feel like they have the opportunity to be special. And they have Michael Parsons, a generational talent. Trevon Diggs, they brought in Stephon Gilmore. And they drafted some key players on the defensive line to fix their run defense issues they were having last year, which would be huge. The linebackers are still solid. And I feel like the offense will just be better. Dak Prescott, I think he'll easily have a better season than he did last year. I know. It'd be hard to lead the league in interceptions again. And it'll be kind of impressive if he throws 15 picks again. Last year he did it with missing 5 games. So as long as he stays healthy, the team stays healthy. They did add weapons around him. They still have Tony Pollard. They added Brandon Cooks. And of course they still have CeeDee Lamb. Offensive line always seems to be solid. So I feel like this is a very complete team. And they have an opportunity to make a run. So with that, I got the Cowboys. Next, I got the Eagles. Now, the Eagles, they didn't lose much from their team last year. And if anything, they probably built more connections with Jalen Hurts and the A.J. Brown connection, the chemistry. They probably built more chemistry. The defense, I think, will go down a little bit as the secondary is relying on aging corners such as Darius Slay and James Bradbury. They're getting up there in age, but still, I think it's going to be a dangerous defense. They drafted more Georgia Bulldogs. They got Keely Ringo and Jalen Carter. That defensive line is going to be nasty. The front seven is still very good. And I feel like the Cowboys-Eagles game are going to be so good, man. I feel like they're going to split the series 1-1, but I'm just going to lean towards Cowboys in this division overall. I don't think the Eagles are going to be significantly behind the Cowboys or anything. I think they'll be right behind them. They could easily take that one spot. But and for my prediction video, I'm laying Cowboys. Next, I got the Giants. I know they did a stinker last night, but I still think it's a very good team. The defense should still be very solid. They just got lucky in the last game, but Daniel Jones, he's dangerous in the air and on his feet. They added more weapons for him. They brought back Saquon Barkley. I like Jalen Hyatt, the receiver from Tennessee. He could be pretty good for the Giants. I feel like he can develop to be something dangerous. He's very fast. I like the addition of Darren Waller, the tight end. He'd be very good. And I think they're going to build that connection pretty easily. Training camp reports were pretty good. I just don't think they're good enough to compete with the Eagles or the Cowboys. But sorry, Dan, if you're watching this, but I still think they're a good team. They could probably sneak in for a wild card spot, but it'll be tough. It'll be tough. I can definitely see 2-3 wild card teams from this division, but yeah, you got the Giants third, fourth. You got Washington. I don't think they're good enough to compete with the rest of the teams. If you look at that roster, the defense is still very, I think it's good, underrated. The offense, they got weapons on offense. It's all up to Sam Howell to get it going. I am high on Sam Howell. I think he will do good, but they did kind of struggle with the Cardinals, but I'll get into that later. Washington, I think, is an underrated team. They're slept on. I think Sam Howell has what it takes. He just has to be a game manager, honestly. They have Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin on the outside. They have a running back committee, Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson. And that defensive line is filled with first-round picks. We just got to wait and see when Chase Young gets back because he'll be a huge part of that defense. Secondary's young. Might take a little bit to get going. And with all that, I got them at 4th. Now, just to recap this division a little bit, this will probably be the best division in the NFC side. They're all filled with stacked teams. They all got good rosters, but the Cowboys and Eagles are like in win now mode. Whereas the Giants and Washington might need like another year before they're like win now to get in that window. But so yeah, with all those reasons, I like the Cowboys to win this division. Moving on to the AFC East. This is probably going to be one of the best division in the AFC side. So they're all got a talented roster. They're all stacked top to bottom. And it's going to be definitely very close. I just feel like it's going to come down to who has the more balanced team. This has been a very defensive heavy teams in years past, but now it's shifting to more like offensive heavy. So I think whoever's going to win this division is going to be like the more balanced team, you know. So winning this division, I got the Dolphins. I feel like they're a pretty balanced team. They got a top 5 offense, and although the defense didn't show it yesterday, I feel like they have potential to be a top 5 defense. I think it's just going to take a little bit to get going, to get that Vic Fangio system in place, which I do think is one of their best additions they made in the offseason, was getting Vic Fangio. He is one of the best defensive coordinators in the league right now. So with that, I feel like that's a huge pickup. As long as the Dolphins' offense is able to stay healthy, they will score points, and they're probably one of the most explosive offenses in the league right now. We got Tua. He's the biggest question mark. He balled out yesterday, but these predictions were made before week 1. As long as he stayed healthy, I always knew he'd like. Okay, I'll take that back. I didn't always knew, but like if you look at the beginning of last year, he was in the top of almost every significant quarterback stat, but of course the injury happened. I feel like this team has what it takes to make the big moves, big wins, make the statement wins. The offensive line is still concerned. The running backs are slightly concerned, but I'm not really worried about them. We have a good group of running backs. The receiver depth is huge. Of course, we have the best duo in the league, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. But behind them, we still have really good receivers. We have Braxton Berrios, Eric is Big E. I call him Big E. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But we got those guys. Got Chosen Rosen, or not Chosen Rosen. What the heck am I talking about? I'm talking about like this a couple years ago. What's going on? No, we got Chosen Anderson or Robbie Chosen, whatever. He changed his name like 10 times. Just pick one, dude. But yeah, main point. They got receiver depth. Although they not be superstar receivers, they're still quality, solid receivers. Okay. Now, looking at the defensive side, our front 7 is nasty. Our edge rusher group is good, very good. Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips. I feel like Jalen Phillips is out to have a big year this year. And of course, we have one of the best defensive tackles in the league, in Christian Wilkins. And the linebacker group did improve. We still have Jerome Baker, and we signed David Long Jr. David Long Jr. So I feel like he's an underrated linebacker. Our other concern was our cornerback depth. We still have X. We did trade for Jalen Ramsey, but he'll be out till December. The real question mark will be on the other side of Xavier Howard. But we did draft Cam Smith. I'm high on Cam Smith. I think he has what it takes to be a good corner in this league. And of course, we have Javon Holland in the back end. He's definitely going to show out this year and be one of the best safeties this year. So with all that said, I feel like the Dolphins are a sneaky team to make a run to playoffs this year. And with that, I have them win the AFC East. Next, we have the New York Jets. Now, the Jets are an interesting team in that defense is very scary looking, man. That's going to be a very good defense. They probably have one of the best corner duos in the league. Front 7 still is very good. Quentin Williams, one of the best defensive tackles as well. Now, it comes to the offense. Aaron Rodgers is past his prime. The O-line is struggling out there. But what's going to hold this offense together is the chemistry that they already have, the receivers already have with Aaron Rodgers. And Garrett Wilson will build that real quick. But they brought in a lot of Packers receivers, such as Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, and those guys. So they're still going to be a dangerous team. I do feel like that offense will let that team down in some games. And I don't think I can favor that offense to win this division. And with that said, I think that defense is going to carry them to that second spot in this division. So with that said, Jets in second. Third, we got the Bills. My concern with the Bills is that defense. That defense isn't like what they had in years past. They let go of Tremaine Edmonds, and they're going to mostly rely on aging vets that are coming off from significant injuries, such as Von Miller, who's already missing the first 4 games of the season. Tre'Davious White, he came back from an injury last year, and both the safety duos, and of course they went through that traumatic experience with Amar Hamlin. I feel like that was a reason why they didn't show out in the playoffs, but I'm not gonna go down there. Josh Allen, he's still one of the league's best. The offense, it seems like their main focus during the offseason was to focus on the offense. They did draft Dalton Kincaid, and they still have Stephon Gilmore and Gabriel Davis. O-line is solid, serviceable. And the running backs, it's going to be James Cook leading the backfield this year. So, I feel like the Bills are set up to disappoint this year. Disappoint as in not win the division. They're still going to be a very good team, and I think they will make the wild card spot. They still make the playoffs. So, with that, I do think they're going to disappoint. I think that defense is not going to be what it used to be. I think it won't be all that great. And I think they're going to allow for a lot of points, and which means you're going to lose some games. But the offense is going to be killer, though, still. So, with that said, I got Bills in third. Fourth, got the Patriots. How is the Patriots supposed to compete with the rest of these teams? Those 3 teams are win-now mode. The Patriots, they still have Mac Jones. They don't even know who their backup quarterback is. The receivers, the number 1 receiver is probably Juju Smith-Schuster, right? The running back, they have a running back committee. I do like Ramondre Stevenson, but they brought in Ezekiel Elliott. So, how much carries is Elliott going to take from Stevenson? We're going to find out. They have a good tight end group. They took Mike Gesicki from the Dolphins, and they still have Hunter Henry. That defense has always shown to be a good defense in years past, no matter who they have back there. As long as Bill Belichick is there, the defense is going to be solid. I don't think they have what it takes to even get third in this division. But they're in a tough division, Maybe if there wasn't another division, they'll have a better shot, but not in this division. And with all that said, if you look at all 4 of these teams, a similar trait is a good defense, except for the Bills. And just because of that's why I have them in third. The rest of these teams have a solid defense. And if you're talking about the offensive side, I'll say Dolphins and Bills are the offensive-heavy teams as well. Whereas the Jets have some question on offense as well as the Patriots. So with all that said, those are my NFC East predictions and the AFC East predictions. I think it's gonna be 2 very good divisions. They're both gonna be fun divisions. They're gonna make some good football, and who knows? I feel like there's a good chance the Super Bowl champion will come out for one of these 2 divisions. So with all that said, thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you guys for watching all the division prediction videos. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below who you think will win each of these divisions. Alright? So, once again, thanks for watching. You can expect more content coming up. Now that the season is rolling, we got a lot of content planned. So, I'm excited for this year. And let's go. Let's get it. Let's grow this channel, alright? Thank you guys for watching once more. And peace.